Welcome back, hedgehogs. I hope you had a great spring break, and I'm excited to get back into more art. Now, if you remember, way back before spring break, we were talking a lot about shadows. We were doing shadow puppets, and we were making shadow art. Now, to transition us back into using more traditional art materials, we are going to be starting a new project this week. And we're going to be talking about something that is kind of closely related to a shadow. This week we're going to be talking about silhouettes. Now, a silhouette is kind of like a shadow. It's when you can see the outline of something, but you can't really see many details on the inside. To explain this a little bit better, I'm going to show you some work by an artist named Roger Brown. Roger Brown is a Chicago painter that creates a lot of images of people interacting with different locations, like cities or mountains or countrysides. If you've been to the city of Chicago before, you might even recognize some of these buildings. Now, the cool thing about what he does is he includes a lot of little silhouettes in his pictures. Watch as I zoom in on this picture right here. Can you see people in the window of that building? Yeah, those are silhouettes of people. But do you see what color hair they have? Can you see what kind of design is on their t-shirt? No, you can't because it's a silhouette. So silhouettes, we don't really have that level of detail when we look closely at something. Even though we can see the shape of something really well, in a silhouette, you can't tell what's going on inside of the shape, because a silhouette is created kind of like how a shadow is created. A lot of light is coming from behind something, and it's so much light that you can't really tell what is happening on the inside of a shape. So, we're going to be making some Roger Brown inspired artwork this week. We're going to be starting on part one, and part one of this project is to create some silhouettes inside of windows. So, are you ready to get started? Let's get going designing some Roger Brown inspired windows. And then next week, we're going to be putting those windows on a building. Here we go. All right, everyone. I am so excited to start making these silhouette windows. Now, what we're going to need first for this project is some paper. We're going to be cutting out some long strips of paper and doing a special fold technique to get our window sizes just right. So I also have a yellow marker. I'm going to tell you what that's for in a bit, and a black marker. Now this could be one of these like a Sharpie, or it could also be one of these, your choice. I also have my pencil just in case. Okay, so what I want to do first on my paper is I'm going to take my paper the long way, and I'm going to try my best to make a really small fold that's no longer than, let's say, maybe this part of my finger right here. So if you'd like, you can kind of measure that with your pencil, make a little dot there, all the way over to the other side, little dot there. We're going to be folding this long side of the paper. Here we go. Let's see if I can get this just right. Sometimes if I want to get a good crease, I can grab something like a marker and help me press it all the way down. All right, what do you think? Does that seem like a good fold? I think it does. Now, if you remember from those Roger Brown pictures that we looked at, the backgrounds in all of those windows were yellow. So I wanted the background of mine to be yellow as well, but I didn't have yellow paper with me right now. So instead, I'm going to color this whole strip yellow. And this is going to be the background of all those little windows I'm going to make. Okay, see my long yellow strip? Now it's time to cut that strip out. Here I go. All right, so I've got my yellow strip. Now before I start drawing out my silhouettes, I do want to cut my strip into little pieces to become my windows. But I don't want the pieces so small you can't see it, and I don't want it to be so big that I don't have enough to make more windows. So what I'm going to do, I want to think of my window size. I think I want my window to be a little bit taller than a square, kind of like a rectangle. So I think this, like right up like this much would be good for my window size. I'm going to fold this down just like that. There we go. Now I want all of my windows to be the same size. If you look at a building, the windows are almost always the same size as the other windows around them. So to make it the same size, I'm gonna pinch very hard right here and I'm gonna fold this one back. I'm kind of gonna do some accordion folding. Do you see that? I want to try that again. I want to try to keep the window distances the same. Now, my last one turned out a little bit smaller, but I think I'll turn that one into a door. All right, let's see how many windows I have now. Can you see the spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 windows. That's going to be pretty great. Okay, now it's time to start cutting these up. So I'm going to take my scissors and on every fold, I'm going to make a snip. Snip. All right, so there are all of my windows. Now, right now, does it look like anyone's home? Nope. So I'm gonna make it look like people are home by drawing in their silhouettes. Now, when I make a silhouette, I usually don't start right away with making the silhouette. Usually I'll draw a picture first. So right now, you can see the little person inside, but this is going to be a silhouette. This is not just a picture of a person. So since it is a silhouette, I'm gonna take my marker and I want to color the whole picture in all the way. There. Now that looks more like a silhouette or a shadow. All right. Now I put a person in that one, but you can put whatever you'd like in your windows. I want to think about objects, animals, maybe some mystery shapes as well. I think since I've had some practice, I'm okay to just go right ahead with the marker now and not use my pencil first. So I'm going to work for a little while and then I'll share with you my silhouettes when I'm all done. Here I go. All right, I've got all of my silhouettes all completed. So you can see that was the one I started with. But I've got another one that's someone playing video games on a TV. Above that, there is a silhouette of a fish in a bowl. And I think that cat might want to eat the fish. Below the cat is a hedgehog. I've got a really tall giraffe that you can see takes up 2 windows. That one's just the neck. That one's the head of the giraffe. Over here, we've got a nice butterfly and someone sleeping in the bed. Shh. Wait a second. Did I miss one? Does anybody see Scaredy Squirrel? Wait a second. There's Scaredy Squirrel. And look, there's an acorn above his head. And I used my last one as a door. That is a tiny silhouette of a doorknob. Okay. Van Heist, I want you to keep these somewhere safe because we're going to be doing more with our silhouettes next week. So what I have here is a bag that I'm going to be putting these in. I would suggest that you put yours somewhere safe. It doesn't have to be a bag. It could be an envelope or in a folder or in a neat little pile on your desk, somewhere that you're not going to lose them. So I hope you had a good time creating your Roger Brown inspired silhouette art. And if you want to make more than I did, I think I did 10 or so, but if you want to make more, by all means, you could make 15, you could make 20, you could make 5,632,000, but that might take you a while. So maybe just stick to a number that's closer to 10-ish. All right, we'll see you next week for part 2 of this project. Have fun!